You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to the line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Sports? That's what I'm talking about.
Hello, KLRN family. As you know, our NFL segment, news, insight, predictions, and a whole lot of shenanigans with @RadioGriff on Twitter is a staple to this show. So, Week 14 has officially ended as of last night with the Patriot-Ravens matchup. But entering Week 14, @RadioGriff was behind yours truly, the Wenz here, by a mere 7 games due to a whole lot of upset picks. So, without further ado, a look back. Who won the games? Who lost the games? Some of the games we were both right, and some of the games we were both wrong. I hope you enjoy the segment. Oh, Week 14. Here we are in studio with the magnificent, the marvelous @RadioGriff on Twitter.
What's up?
Man, I'll tell you what, last week you really went out on a tree limb with those upset picks, and I don't know, did it pay off for you?
I believe it did not pay off for me. You know what's not up are my picks. They were quite down last week.
Indeed.
I made lots of upset picks. I did. I went out on a limb. I took some chances.
You did.
Because I got big ones.
Yeah, you did.
And I was wrong.
Well, it's okay. This week you have a chance to catch up. I have a 7-game lead on you currently. Woo. But I'm going to go your route because I have some room to breathe this week.
Okay.
One of your favorite bands, by the way. Am I correct on that?
Need to Breathe?
Need to Breathe.
To breathe.
Yeah.
Need to Breathe.
That's like the cover band for Need to Breathe, Room to Breathe. So Week 14 started last night, Thursday. We weren't able to do our thing yesterday, but we did. We were able to go ahead and get those picks ahead of time, and Radio Griff chose the losing Oakland Raiders, traveling to the Walruses, Kansas City Chiefs. Close game to the end. Chiefs took that one by 8, 21-13. Advantage the Wenz. But we can go ahead and move on to the Sunday games here. Steelers at Bills. What say you @Radio Griff?
I like the Steelers, man. I think the Steelers are going to go into Buffalo. They're going to win. I thought Buffalo was going to have a chance last week against the Raiders to go to Oakland and do something. I picked the Bills to win that game, and they didn't win. I think Buffalo's done. Steelers still kind of fighting for a playoff opportunity there. I like the Steelers. Better team's going to win this game.
Oh, totally. And there it is, what you said about the Steelers. They're fighting right now in the AFC North. Baltimore, same record, 7-5, but I believe they own the tiebreaker there. Baltimore undefeated within their division. I got to go with the Steelers as well. I think Buffalo's a little too far behind the 8 ball here. In the AFC, look, the wild card teams right now, the first place wild card team is the Oakland Raiders at 10-3, a 10-win team already at this point.
Right.
Going to be tough to make the playoffs if you're struggling at a 500 record at this point with 6 wins. Both are correct. Broncos at Titans. This one's an interesting one to me, but what do you think?
I'm going to go out on a limb again here, and I'm going to take the home team Titans to, would it be an upset, I guess, to beat the Broncos? I know the Broncos have a tough defense, but I like the Titans offense, man. I like Mariota and the good running game. Got Rashard Matthews as his number 1 receiver. Some Delaney Walker up in there. I think they're going to put some points up on the Broncos. And I don't think the Broncos can score points. They just can't. So I like the Titans in this game.
I couldn't agree more. And I'm really shocked that we agree on this one because I thought for sure you were going to go with
I think the Titans
high.
are going to make a run for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
They probably could win that division.
Oh, totally.
They still have a shot.
Yeah, well, right now they're in first place in the AFC South.
Right.
Same record as Houston, but there again, they own that tiebreaker at this point currently. Yeah, I think DeMarco Murray, what a season he's had.
He's back.
He is. He's back in Dallas Cowboy form. And for some reason, the Eagles decided, hey, well, let's just ditch him.
And you mix it up with a little Derrick Henry.
Yeah. I mean, dynamic duo, thunder and lightning right there.
Good things happen in Nashville.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Both are correct. Redskins at the filthy Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, your poor Eagles, man.
Ugh.
I keep picking them, and I keep getting it wrong. They started off so hot. Remember, the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season.
Yep.
Eagles and Vikings.
Yep.
Those are the teams from the NFC. And what's happened?
My, how the tables have turned.
I like the Redskins in this game, man. I think they're going to go into Philly. They're going to, Kirk Cousins is going to throw for 500 yards.
You like that?
Right? And the Skins are going to win.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the home team. I think Philly...
Oh, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, I know. And this is really a fan pick for yours truly. I just want to go with the Eagles here. They've lost 7 of 9. And like you said, they started out so hot. The worst thing that could have happened is starting out 3-0.
Right.
And then just sucking. Peterson's apparently on the hot seat already. I think that's a foolish move to fire him after the first year.
Bring back Chip Kelly.
Oh, God.
Take him off the Niners' hands.
No. By all means, he belongs on the West Coast. He's a Bay Boy now.
Advantage Griffin.
Cardinals on the road, the struggling Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Against Miami.
Not a game I'm really interested in, honestly.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take the home team Dolphins. Cardinals just kind of collapsed this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, last year Carson Palmer had like a career year, and I think that played into why they had such a good season last year. Dolphins have been kind of coming on strong lately. They're in Miami. I'll take the Dolphins.
Yeah, I gotta wonder if Arizona even feels like they're in it. I mean, they're behind that Seattle team.
I think mathematically they still are, right?
Yeah.
But
it's weird.
They're not in it, though.
This is one of those that time of the football season where they always say in the hunt,
right.
In the hunt, but really, dude, you're about to get shot with an arrow through the back of your head, and this is one of those teams that isn't going to make it out of the woods alive. I honestly don't see a path for Arizona to make the wild card even at 5-6. Too many decent NFC teams with 500 or better records, but I will take the Cardinals on the road against the Dolphins here. I don't think that the Dolphins are really that strong a team. I know they're 7-5 right now, but I think they're going to take Arizona lightly.
Advantage Griffin.
All right, moving on down the line. As you mentioned, Minnesota, speak of the devil, on the road in Jacksonville, taking on the Jags.
Ugh. What a terrible game. This should be an easy game for the Vikings to win, I think. Jags, I mean, they're on the verge of firing their coach. Things are just imploding down there. So I'm going to take Minnesota. I think they're the better team. Usually the better team wins the football game. I'll take Minnesota.
Solid insight there. Word, Cotton. Word. I'm going to take the upset special.
Ooh, Jags.
This week, I'll take a number 3, Garcon, and go with the home team Jaguars. I think Minnesota's reeling. There's something about this team. Sammy Sleeves is an awful quarterback, and he has shown his true colors. He doesn't even belong to wear purple. He's that bad.
Advantage Griffin.
Houston on the road at Indy, taking on the Colts.
You know what? Big division matchup. I mean, both these teams still in the hunt to win that division. And I don't trust Brock. I trust Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck, I mean, he is the only player on that team. But once again, he's carrying the team. And it's in Indy. I like the Colts.
Wow. I can see why you'd say that. Both teams are 6-6. 3-way tie at this point in the AFC South. But I'm going to go with the traveling Texans. Hashtag play for JJ.
Play for JJ.
Play for
Still
JJ.
playing for JJ.
That's right, man. He is in remission right now. I think he is going to come back with flying colors. I think, is he out for the whole year? Or is he going to come back for the playoffs? I can't remember if this is a season ending.
I thought he was out for the year.
Okay.
That was my understanding.
So he'll be back next year, hopefully. Barring catastrophe.
Advantage the Wenz.
San Diego on the road taking on the reeling Panthers.
Yeah, talk about reeling. Yeah, the Panthers, man. Cam Newton doesn't want to wear ties, doesn't respect his coach. Things are out of control there. The most overrated quarterback of our time.
Wow.
Cam Newton. This guy doesn't care about football. He cares more about fashion. He needs to just quit football and go on the runway, do whatever he wants to do. I like San Diego to fly across the country, come into Charlotte, and give it to Cam Newton and the Panthers. It won't even be close. It's going to be a blowout. Panthers are done. Cam Newton's career over.
Wow. Well, tell us how you really feel. San Diego at 5-7, not much better. I mean, Carolina is struggling this year right now at 4-8. I agree with you. I think the perfect weather Chargers are going to take it on the road and beat up America's next top model for sure. I don't see a path for Carolina to win this game, so I will as well take the traveling team there.
Both are wrong.
Next on down the line, the Cincinnati Bengals, who destroyed the Philadelphia Eagles last week on the road at the winless Cleveland Browns.
I guess this would be an upset pick, right? So I'm picking the winless Brown.
Oh my gosh, me too!
I like the Browns.
Unbelievable.
Rumors that RG3 might be back this week,
Yeah,
right?
he's starting.
Okay, so there you go. RG3, the return. I like the Browns in this game.
Me too. I think they're going to get their first win and contend with San Francisco for that first overall pick in the 2017 draft.
Yeah.
Ugh. Could get ugly there.
Both are wrong.
Chicago taking on the division rival Detroit Lions.
It's in Detroit. Lions are the better football team. Bears are a mess. I like the Lions in this game, man. Lions probably going to win that division. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford, MVP candidate.
Yep.
Good things happening in Detroit. I'll take the Lions.
And amazingly so as well, considering the retirement of Calvin Johnson last year. Nobody gave them a chance.
Right.
Don't have a receiver, blah, blah, blah. But here comes Ebron, here comes Tate, Matt Stafford having a career year, getting good measure out of Theo Riddick and company. I agree. I can't go against the Lions in this one at home.
Both are correct.
The New Jersey / New York / wherever Jets on the road at your Wine 'em, Dine 'em, 49 'em.
49ers, baby. I saw a tweet. Someone said this game should be flexed to 7:30 a.m. on PBS. That's how terrible of a matchup this is. The Jets are a mess. They didn't even show up Monday night in that game.
That was pretty bad.
Rumors that they're getting rid of changing quarterbacks. Might want to fire Todd Bowles already, which would be a mistake, I think. Niners, arguably just as much of a mess. Our quarterback who sits and kneels and stands.
Whoa. Last week he was a hero. What happened? Are you flipping the script on me?
I'm just how people describe them. I'm a fan of the guys, of their play on the field.
Right. Naturally.
Right. Colin Kaepernick, though, he's starting. Named the starting quarterback in this game, even though he got benched in Chicago in that game last week where it was snowing. It was too cold for football.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have even played. That's why Kaepernick had such a bad game.
I mean, his afro had icicles on it.
Right?
It was insane.
But I'm not just saying this because I'm a big fan. I legitimately think the Niners are going to win this game. It's in San Francisco. I think the Jets are really done.
Bless you.
And I like the Niners in this game.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to take the Niners at home. The Jets, it's such a weird team. Like you said, Todd Bowles seems like a super nice guy, maybe too nice to be an NFL head coach. And they have like 4 quarterbacks. For some reason, they still believe in Ryan Fitzpatrick, but I saw Bryce Petty get some action in the late going. He actually looked pretty decent.
He's supposed to start this week, Bryce Petty.
Yeah.
And then you have Christian Hackenberg somewhere around.
Yeah.
And then who's the other guy who was the starter?
I think Joe Namath is also still on the sideline, just in case.
His fur coat.
He'll never get a broken rib with that fur coat. It's like 10 feet thick.
Both are wrong.
Let's see. Saints at Bucks. This is a huge rivalry game. Huge implications here.
It is. And you know what? I like the Saints to win this game. I'm not sure why. I don't really have any analysis as to why, but I think just to make this division interesting, I think the Saints are going to, stay alive because the Saints pretty much have to win this game. They're 2 behind of the Bucks right now, right? In terms of games. So the Saints have to win it. I think they're going to go down there, score a lot of points, and they're the veteran team. They're going to do it.
I'm embarrassed to say the Wenz is aborting his initial diagnosis of a turnaround for the Nolans Saints, and I believe that the Buccaneers are now the team to beat.
You've been on the Saints all year.
I have, but the Saints have disappointed me, and I've seen some things as of late that I just don't like, even offensively.
I just can't trust the Bucs.
Yeah.
I don't trust Jameis.
I understand. I mean, look, anybody that pilfers crab legs from a Publix, you got to keep a sharp eye on them. Offensively, though, I think that Tampa Bay is starting to get it together. Gerald McCoy on the defensive end there, I think he's going to make a big impact this week. I'm going to go with the Bucs at home.
Advantage the Wenz.
And I think the Falcons game against the Rams is going to have serious implications on this NFC South. What do you think about the Falcons taking on, not St. Louis, the Los Angeles Rams?
Oh, Los Angeles Rams.
Correct,
yeah.
Mundo.
I mean, the Falcons, talk about, a nice break this week. Even though it's on the road, Falcons should roll in this game and definitely help out their chances in remaining in the lead in the NFC South. I like the Falcons in this game.
The Falcons should roll, but shall they roll? And I do not believe in the Atlanta Falcons. You have heard it here time after time, as Inaj would say. This is not going to happen. Their true colors, as the great Cyndi Lauper would say, are not red and black. They are yellow. Yellow, my friend. The Atlanta Falcons are going to continue the epic collapse as the Tampa Bay Bucs rise in ascension to dominance in the NFC South. And the Los Angeles Rams are going to help this situation occur. Beginning this week 14.
The Jeff Fisher-led Los Angeles Rams are going to beat the Atlanta Falcons.
And somehow Fisher gets a contract extension.
Right.
He didn't even know which team Danny Woodhead played for. He tweeted out, I think he said he plays for the San Diego Chargers or something, and the guy plays for another. I don't know, but he doesn't know what's going on. Jeff Fisher is one of those proverbial, how does this guy still employed guys?
Well, I will say this. Dan Quinn isn't much better, I don't think, honestly. I think he's kind of gotten... I think Kyle Shanahan's worked some magic this year with the Falcons, and I don't think Quinn is necessarily a better coach than Fisher. So Fisher could easily outcoach him and win this game, I think.
Yeah. It's definitely a coin flip there. I'm going to go with the Rams at home, though. I know they have nothing to play for at 4-8, but Atlanta is just so bad. They're just such a freaking... facade of a team.
Right.
I just don't believe them.
Advantage Griffin.
Seahawks at Packers. This one is going to be one I definitely watch at 425.
Oh, yeah. Huge game.
Yep.
And I hate both of these teams. As a Niners fan, growing up in the 90s, it was always Packers and Niners going back and forth.
Right.
Hated the Packers. In recent years, it was the Niners and Seahawks. I hate the Seahawks. This is against everything in me, man. But I'm going to pick the Packers in this game. I think Aaron Rodgers, man, he's wants to prove a point. He wants to lead them back. He says they were going to win out, and they might just do that. And I'll take Aaron Rodgers and the Packers at home against the Seattle Seahawks.
I totally agree. Packers have a lot more to play for at this point. Look, at 6-6, trailing that Detroit Lion team, and Seattle really, they have this division in hand.
Yeah,
the NFC
they can kind
West,
of coast.
Yeah, look, that second place Cardinal team at 5-6, Seattle at 8-3-1. I don't think they really care. I mean, they can afford to rest Russell Wilson, for God's sakes. Do a couple more Phillips Noreco commercials. Chill out with Ciara. Nourish that new child of yours. Just enjoy life for the next couple weeks until the playoff push begins.
Both are correct.
What say you? Division game here, NFC East, smash mouth football. Them boys on the road at the New Jersey/New York Giants.
I read something this week. It was on Twitter, so I'm going to assume it's true and that it's a fact. That Zeke Elliott has never lost a road game in his entire career, from high school forward. He's never lost a game on the road. Well, guess what?
Uh-oh.
That's going to change this week.
Wow, big time.
The New York, New Jersey, whatever you want to call them, Giants, Eli and Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham, I'm such a big fan of that guy. I think the Giants are going to win this game. The Cowboys can kind of afford to lose this game. I like the Giants. I just think they're going to win.
For the sake of what I said last week about the Giants losing their last 5, I want to pick the Cowboys because it makes sense because they're the better team. But there again, I believe the Giants have way more to play for the NFC wildcard spot, that first spot right now. I'm going to pick the Giants to win, but I still think they're going to lose. I don't know if that doesn't make any sense mathematically, statistically, or
most
logically.
Most people say the Giants are the most overrated good team.
Yeah.
Right? They have this great record.
Yeah.
Or pretty good record, and but they're just really not a good football team.
Yeah, the worst 8-4 team of all time.
Right.
And then, of course,
maybe they're not. Maybe they'll beat the Cowboys.
We'll have to see. Look, they could pull another Super Bowl miracle
Right.
Where resting B-face Eli Manning somehow scores this ridiculous pass to some unknown receiver again.
And I've heard rumors Peyton Manning's been hanging out in the film room with Eli and the boys. So, don't doubt Peyton.
Cooper's bringing him Kool-Aid. You know what I mean? Dad's doing something. God knows what that. God bless him. What a real quick side note. What a gene pool. What a line of...
Oh, it's incredible.
It is. It's unheard of.
I mean, it's not even probable that would occur.
Exactly.
That the dad would be an NFL quarterback, and then he'd have two sons who are NFL quarterbacks, and the two sons have won Super Bowls. That doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. I think God just loves some people more. I mean, I don't know.
Advantage Griffin.
And of course, moving to our Monday night game, this one has a lot of AFC playoff implications as the Baltimore Ravens travel to Foxborough, Gillette Stadium, to take on them cheater Patriots.
I've heard a lot of chatter this week. People are, the Ravens are the only team that play the Patriots tough, blah, 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 which is kind of true. They have a little rivalry going on the last decade or so. Dude, don't doubt Tom Brady and the Patriots. Patriots are going to roll in this game. I don't trust Joe Flacco. I like the Pats.
I circled the Pats initially, but as you talked about the game, there's just something in the back of my spleen that says the Baltimore Ravens are going to continue their December march to excellence as the playoff picture approaches. And Joe Flacco, I've said it before, he is a winter quarterback. This guy, it's like those eyebrows thicken with excellence as it gets chillier outside. And look, it's going to be colder in New England than it is in Baltimore on the road. I will erase my circle of the Patriots and redo my circling the better Harbaugh Ravens.
Advantage Griffin.
On the road
the
here.
The better Harbaugh. Easy.
Yes, well, the other one started making excuses as to why he lost to Ohio State.
Excuses.
Although those referees were definitely shiesty.
Yes.
There was an outlet on Infowars.com, I believe they did a documentary about how some of those referees actually went to Ohio State. So there is some conflict of interest, if you will, there.
Yeah, poor Jim Harbaugh, man. I feel bad for the guy.
Definitely should be an NFL coach, but maybe he'll return next
Back
year.
to the Niners, please.
Yeah,
please.
They need him. Get rid of that thug Colin Kaepernick and reinstate the coaching greatness.
I'll get rid of whoever if you bring in Jim Harbaugh. Let him play quarterback, player coach. I think he'd do it.
He could. He could be that fifth Jets quarterback as well. And there you have it. Our Week 14 picks. We'll have to check back and see if Griffin can crawl back into this race.
Oh, I'm crawling.
7 games behind, but that can swing at any moment here. The momentum, the pendulum swings here in Wenz World. Woo! What a week of predictions. I was right some, but wrong more often than not. At Radio Griff has crawled back. And I'm quite upset about it, and I got ahead of myself with some of these bold upset specials. Now I'm upset because I made a whole lot of terrible picks. In any case, I'm going to attempt to crunch some numbers here. I've never really been good at mathematics, so bear with me. Radio Griff entered Week 14 with a record of 108-86. He went 9-7 during Week 14, so overall standings 117-93. 117 wins, 93 losses, that is. The Wenz here entered Week 14 at 115-79. I went 6-10 this week, a shameful 6-10, for an overall record of 121-89. So I am ahead of Griffin by 4 games. We're going to have to see how this all pans out. Week 15 is here. NFL, we're going to track our predictions heading into this week, and we'll keep you posted. Pull for me, folks. Pull for me. I'm your host here.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
He's the most powerful voice in all thy land. With his power exudeth and penis protrudeth from his tight pants. He's the most powerful voice in all the land.
As Randy would say, I was a little pitchy, dog. A little pitchy.
Little pitchy dog, man. You little pitchy dog. What up, girl?
I love the new intro music, Mr. Monroe. We'll have to use that one for SoundCloud purposes only.
Yes.
So let me note that on ye old worksheet here.
I like your
ye old.
He's got the fat Sharpie on the word. I like that, man. That's authoritative. That's somebody who yeah. Do you remember the markers that used to come in the little styrofoam box? They all had different scents. You had blueberry and lemon and cherry and cola.
Yeah.
And
just like a chicken cherry cola.
Appley.
Yep. Appley.
Yeah.
Appley. Or apply, depending on how you use it in a sentence.
I've got a little extra downstairs today. It's just sounding a little extra bassy.
Extra blood flow below the belt there?
Yeah. All right, you ready to get started here?
Let's get started. We've already been started.
Oh, is this started?
We are recording.
Wow, we just kind of jumped into that pool, man, without no warm-up, nothing.
But this is what you get in Wenz World. You get spontaneity.
Wow.
Nothing's pre-planned here.
No,
absolutely nothing on this worksheet has been written out. For instance, I did not write out that I'd like to kind of touch on what's going on in the traffic world.
The traffic world. The out-of-control Atlanta Traffic Watch. It had been, 45 days since it had rained?
Yeah,
and
something
we got
like
all that rain at the first part of the week. And I knew when the rain came in, that traffic was going to be a disaster. And listen, I tried to come home. I was feeling terrible. By the way, I got that little 2-day bug or whatever that's been going around that makes you, sit on the toilet a lot.
Oh, that's the worst.
A lot.
Where it's like water coming out. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. The water, the brown water. Oh. Yeah. Sitting home, and it took me 2 hours to get home on Tuesday night in the rain.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, no. It was, and it should have, and granted, I was on the other side of town, and it would normally take me 50 minutes to get home. So it was double the time. Traffic was just gridlocked. It's just, I don't understand. And there were some other radio stations and some other people, and I know you're not supposed to dog on other people, but
no, go for it, man.
They're
the sweetest taboo in all of life.
Oh man, that's some Sade, isn't it?
Some Sade, some Saudi.
Some Saudi? Yeah. Sade. The question never felt like this before.
I can't tell you how many times I've pleased myself to this song. Actually, I can tell you. About 45.
No!
Jerry, I was in the pool.
Oh, man. I didn't see it. Now, I lost my total train of thought. I have no idea what we were talking about 12 seconds ago.
Raining.
Oh, it was terrible. It was awful. Oh, and I had the bug, and so I felt bad, So it took and I was going to dog another radio station.
Oh, that's right.
Wow.
That's right.
That's how quickly our minds just go to something else. But one of the stations one morning said, it would be better for you to start your commute until after the daylight hours to be safe.
Oh, that's great. Can you go ahead and email my boss and let him know that I've been directed to not show up until about 8:30.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And this morning, I saw one of them text or tweet. This person shall remain nameless, said that the rush hour may start later because it's cold. I'm looking at this going, are you guys that stupid?
Well, it is extremely tempting to hit the old snooze button on the old alarm clock.
Oh, listen, I'm not disputing the fact that I'd much rather be home, with a glass of Chardonnay or brandy. and a girl named Brandy with an I.
Such a
Drink
fine
with
girl.
a Y and girl with an I. And by the fireplace. But most of us, that are not Democrats are going to work and have things to do. So we can't just stay at home all day.
Now, there are a lot of hardworking Dems out there. Let's not generalize. Let's not throw a wet blanket over the fire in Wenz.
I know you get that on some of your other duties here at the station. I will not, pretend to go down that road with you. Oh, listen, that's a groove, man.
I would love to go to one of her concerts, but I have a feeling I would be the token white guy there. Just like trying to dance like I have rhythm, but no.
Hey, guys. Hey, my name's Joey, and
I voted for Obama in 2008. Just an FYI. Am I cool? Are we cool? Are we good? Are we good? Look, I'm drinking Cavassier out of a snifter. Smooth operator.
I remember when this was like a current, like back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Like on
when did this song come
93.
out?
I was like 85.
Smooth operator, really?
85, 86.
Let's see
84,
here.
85, 86.
You know what? Recorded 83 and 84. Released 15 September 1984 in the United Kingdom.
So it was released there, and then it probably wasn't released in the U.S. until 85.
Yep. Good call, Monroe.
Yeah, I know my 80s music, man.
Sade is one of those people that just ages so gracefully. Black don't crack.
Yeah, man.
There's a lot of truth to that.
Oh, man, shoot.
Next week, we are going to be diving into the social interaction of said holiday party here at Salem Media Group.
There's no hiding behind email.
Oh.
Okay, please, for the love of God, when somebody sends an email to the entire office staff or your entire region or whatever, it's a large email, there is no reason to reply all. I repeat, there is no reason to reply all unnecessarily. To go, hey, great, thanks. Well, no, what I was saying is that we can't hide behind email. We can't hide behind social media. This is the forced interaction of the holiday party. A forced interaction of the holiday party, known as the Salem Christmas Luncheon, shall be held at a large Italian restaurant chain here. Of course, you get your little card in your mailbox here. The mailbox I never check because I don't ever get any mail in there. So, and you have to select your option. And this year the options were salmon. Were chicken marsala.
A little fungi on that action right there.
Ziti with sausage.
Which one did the voice choose?
Oh, I chose the ziti, baby.
You went with the ziti.
Yeah.
Strong choice, a bold choice, if you will.
Well, it's an Italian restaurant, so if it was a fish thing, I'd probably pick the salmon. You go with the strength. Go with the restaurant's strength. You got to go with man's got to know his limitations. So anyway, we will get into the party, and God, it's just like high school, man. I mean, it's like finding the right table to sit at in the lunchroom, and it's just awkward and horrible, and people get tipsy, and then they expect you to go back to work, which is
it's worthless. I'm worthless after I drink.
And then we have to have the big speech. Oh, we appreciate all of your hard work this year. It's been a good year. It's been a good year. Been a challenging year. But
in lieu of raises, we've decided to send.
There's always something in lieu of, isn't there?
We've decided to incorporate SalPac into our latest funding here, and we're going to be sending all that money to the new POTUS, if you will. I plan on getting a little pregame buzz on, probably out in the parking lot.
Well, here's the problem, is because everybody has to get to the restaurant at different times. Like those of us that are on the air, we have to kind of finish our shift, or whoever's filling in or whatever, so we can't get there as early. The salespeople are always there first. They've got first dibs on the alcoholic beverages, the adult beverages, if you will. So they're always working on. By the time we get there, 30 minutes later, it doesn't take long, man. You get the wine, the vino flowing. The inhibitions are starting to drop.
Had a little light breakfast that day.
Oh yeah, man. Always have a little light breakfast.
You go in hungry. That's the key to getting a good strong buzz on.
Does anybody really want to? Socialize? It's like all the people that I want to see around here on a regular basis, I go visit.
Yeah.
The offices I want to avoid, I avoid. And should it just be that way?
I think this would be maybe a year to venture out into the great wild.
I don't know.
The great wide open. And just kind of, maybe me and you should tag team this. We should just find a sweet table to just hang our hats on and just do it. Maybe you can join me in the pregame the pregame Santa Fe for a couple adult beverages beforehand.
I bet you got the back of that thing decked out. I bet you got a kicker sub back there. You probably got two 15 subs, man, in your box, in your sub box. And you probably got a cooler back there that's always stocked with perhaps Samuel Adams or Pawtucket Brewery.
More of a Zima kind of guy myself.
Zima was very sophisticated. Do they even sell that anymore?
I think so. I think you have to go to flea markets and such on the weekend.
By the way, how are we ever going to get out of this segment, by the way? I mean, the amount of random, this is almost like the intense brain REM sleep that I had the other night. Because what is it when you have a fever that because your body doesn't cool down? I actually Googled this because I was like, why does it feel like you're not ever asleep when you're sick? You're sleeping a bunch, but you're dreaming into REM so much that you have all this crazy, and you just feel like you're thrashing about in your bed.
And sweat.
Oh, I was chills, sweat, and you feel terrible, man.
And that's the thing about this time of year around the office, are these people, they're so willing and dedicated, but
I can't be sick.
Or the people that go to church sick. God's not impressed with you spreading your illnesses to his other believers. Like,
God,
stop.
I was at a Christmas concert the other day. The concert was beautiful, and people were hacking up Pafligahim and nastiness, and it just Price Pafister. I mean, it just.
And here's the thing, you go to the doctor, and the first thing they do is prescribe an antibiotic for a viral infection,
which
just strengthens the bacteria within you.
Shouldn't that be kind of like one of those things they teach you? I mean, the fact that two non-doctors sit here know that.
Yeah. It's just appalling. Well, they got to give you something, and it helps out the big pharma. So
it's all big pharma.
It's all. Listen here, InfoWars spinoff here. Christmas is just but 2 weeks away, and last week we got into a tad of the Chris Monroe Ghost of Christmas Past, and I would like to kind of rekindle that flame if you're interested in doing such. So, without further ado, the Ghost of Chris Monroe's Christmas Past.
I was so excited for Christmas every year. And one of the things that I would always do is that on the last day of school, of course, the last couple of days before you get out for Christmas break or throwaway anyway, you don't do any schoolwork. You've done all your, I'm talking about you're in 5th grade or 4th grade. So I would always go over and stay with my grandmother for all the days that led up. So you got out of school, say like on the 20th or whatever, 21st, that'd be your last day of school. However the week fell. So my grandmother would always come pick me up from school. And I was always excited. You're in elementary school, and you'd show up, and she would take you to her house. And, man, I miss that cooking. Good Lord. So we'd sit there, and we would always put up her little tree at her house, and, because she was alone by that time. I mean, my grandfather died. I was pretty early, so I was only 5. So we would make ambrosia, which people don't love it. How can you not love ambrosia?
Gosh, when I think of that word, I think of Edward Scissorhands with that neighbor, the redhead, who was like, and you must try my ambrosia salad.
I forgot about that. Ambrosia is amazing. It's pineapple and coconut and oranges, and Isn't
there some seafood in there?
No.
Really?
No.
So it's all fruit.
Not that I've ever heard of. It's fruit and coke. Yeah, it's like an ambrosia salad. It's really good. So we would make ambrosia, and it was just so cool because, the Christmas, it's the spirit, and being over there at her house, and, we would spend the night for a couple of nights and decorate and have great food, and we'd be making things. And then we would load up the car on Christmas Eve morning, and we would head back to my house. And so my grandmother would stay with us, and that was always such a great memory. Because then everything had already been decorated, and then all the family was together, and I miss that, and that ended pretty shortly after you get out of your teens and into your 20s, and so that's one of those things that I love of Christmas Past.
That's so good, man. I can totally relate. This is the first year that I'll be without. I guess we call her my grandmom. She died last February, and it was really hard because she was like the closest thing to human perfection that you can kind of imagine. You kind of look to your elders for guidance, and she always had the right thing to say, always very encouraging and very intelligent as well. It was never sentimental gush. It was always finding the positive,
Yeah, well, when you get to that age, one of the great things about getting older literally now that I'm in my 40s is that you do know so much more. You worry so much less because it's like, okay, yeah, I've been through all those 700 bad things before, and I'm still here.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I don't know. You just have a peace, and I think that's where I miss having an elderly influence in my life. I loved being around my grandmother, and I loved hearing her stories, and good God, could she cook? She was from South Georgia, man, and we ain't talking about any gluten-free fat. I mean, we're talking about bacon drippings in the cabbage, baby.
Yeah, man.
Homemade cabbage and homemade green beans and black-eyed peas and hog jowl. If you never had hog jowl, Hoppin' John, you know what Hoppin' John is? That's black-eyed peas and over rice with hog jowl. Hog jowl is like, big old thick-cut bacon.
Oh, that does sound good.
Oh, dude, if you like bacon, you've never had hog jowl, it's tough to find. It's tough to find good, but you have that and fresh, fluffy white rice and black-eyed peas. And a lot of people have greens, too, because that symbolizes money. That's kind of a Southern New Year's Day treat. So you're watching football all day, and you are eating yourself. I mean, you got to unbutton both buttons on your pants and unzip a little bit, too.
That's where I wear my buffet britches. Or just, just slum it up and wear the sweatpants because
sweatpants.
Really,
I wear my yoga pants on that day.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I do have a nice derriere. That's one thing that I
will say that this guy, for doing no squats or exercise whatsoever, it's amazing. Yeah. I mean, you do have buns of steel. It's like you should be on that. I
exercise them a little bit.
That hip thrust, that hip jerk. Hands-on experience here, folks. I have slapped the Great Monroe's derriere. I mean, that's what dudes do. See it in football games. It's not gay. It's
not gay. Not gay.
Totally hyper hetero. Hyper hetero here.
Yeah.
No, nothing but plutonia, if you will. It's a plutonic relationship.
Right.
It's funny. If you go look on Craigslist, you can go and you can find, old dressers, TV sets, but you can go to the personal side. And there's really odd kind of relationship dynamic requests in there. There's like, of course, the usual male seeking woman, woman seeking male, woman seeking woman, man seeking man, and then there's an area for the 420 crowd, which is really odd to me because if I was an undercover cop, all I would do is like post in the 420 crowd and be like, yeah, man, come over and hang out, man. I got you covered. You just bring yourself, man. And then, boom, busted. Got my quota for the month. You're all set. There's no such thing as entrapment, though. I don't know where that notion came from. Like, a cop's not going to tell you he's a cop. You have to tell me if you're a cop. Okay.
Does she have to tell me if she's 18?
I think it's a nice thing to do. And by the way, since we're in the holiday season and the hormonal milk is a-flowing, yeah, I mean, add in the flames of Tinder are flying here, and a spark flew and almost ignited the studio with the great Chris Monroe here. What's been going on as of late in the Tinder world?
Well, this time of year, this is what we call a Tinder-rich environment. A lot of girls are a little lonely, seeking, they see other couples ice skating and holding hands and under the tree and posting their little pictures, because everybody's social media life is, the way everybody lives, obviously. Not.
Of course.
And
because we never post about, the times that we were just complete jerks.
I am the voice. I'm fanning Tinder.
I'm at a soup kitchen volunteering on Thanksgiving Day. Aren't I great?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right. And by the way, you have received your reward in full by bragging about your good acts. Do them in secret so the good Lord shall shower you with blessings in due time.
That's true.
Words of wisdom in winter.
No, a lot of people go on social media just to, because they have to. And it's like the reply all email. It's when people that are, especially people that are higher profile. One of the very high profile band directors posted the other day on, and literally, I look at the first two posts like as fast as I can, and then go over to the gift page, to check on stuff. So, anyway, high profile band director has had some health problems. He's been retired anyway for but of course he knows a lot of people, and everybody has to chime in on, we're praying for you and all of this stuff. And everybody has to get their, there's, this has been liked 600 times and there are 273 comments and all this stuff. You know what I do? I pick up the phone. I call that person personally. Okay. Because I don't need everybody else to know that I was involved, because it's not about me.
Right.
It's not about me. It's about that person that's reaching out to them. I don't know. And maybe I just...
No, you are dead accurate on this. 100%. And we've all been duped into this narcissistic culture. I have been too. I mean, I can't tell you how many times where I'll literally pick up my phone at home and get on Facebook, and my wife looks at me like, "What are you doing?" I was like, oh my God, I didn't even realize I picked up my phone. Like, I'm
It's
literally just doing it. It's an addiction.
And I don't
hooked.
think everybody is malicious at it. I get really PO'd about it, and but it's like I read, and just as I read, I can go down 1 post, 3 posts, 5 posts, and I'm like, and I start to get PO'd. I'm like, okay, all of that stuff ticks me off.
Like, for example.
Well, I mean, obviously during the election, I couldn't look at it at all.
Yeah, political season's off.
I mean, it was just it was horrible. And then it's like, we just had to put my cat to sleep. Okay, well, I don't need to know that today. I'm sorry. If you're a really good friend of mine, you're going to text me, or I'm going to find out the next time we have lunch. But if we all have to consume 5,000 different pieces of either good or bad news in one sitting, that's a lot.
Yeah, not to mention, if you're going to go ahead and put your cat to sleep, just let cats do what cats do, and that's wander into the woods, because that's how cats die.
Yeah.
Cats want to die when they're old and feeble. Let the food chain continue. Let the coyotes eat them. I mean, really.
Well, you know what I mean.
But I get what you're saying, and I think it's a plea for attention, especially the vague booking. Is the had a hard day. Yeah. Had a hard day again.
Yeah. Had a hard day. Please pray.
Ellipsis.
Points of ellipsis. Yeah.
Frowny face.
We're praying for you. Hope all is okay. And it's just, it's this cry for attention that people have no self-worth on their own. Just being who they are today. I don't need to be. I mean, yeah, we all need to be somewhat just as human beings. Vindicated is not the right word. What's the right word?
Empathize. Acknowledged. Sure.
That people care and all that. We all have bad days, but it's this constant narcissism on social media. And somebody made a good point the other day. Being a child of the 80s, the only hot pictures of girls we ever saw, especially if they were racy, is if we got a hold of our picture, our dad's Playboy, or like a swimsuit calendar, or not ESPN, Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition.
Yeah,
I mean, that's literally all the models we ever saw. Today, you can go on Instagram and find hundreds of thousands of smoking hot women. I just think instantly. I mean, it's just there's no mystique, or I don't know.
Is this? Whoa! Are you turning a corner here? Because for the man who's fanning the flames week in and week out here, it sounds like you want to get back to nature. You want to get back to that spontaneous meet and greet at the local watering hole or church, or
it's just
the book club, whatever.
I like Tinder and it's fun, and I have met some good girls, but I'm an organic, face-to-face kind of guy, because I think, first of all, I present myself much better in person, because if you list all of my stats, okay, I'm not a tall guy, I'm 5'8", most girls go, oh, you must be 6 feet and above. I mean, that's important to a lot of chicks.
Yeah,
so that obviously knocks me off a lot of girls' list right away.
Right.
You must have this, and this, and this, and I'm just like, ugh.
But if you think about it, that's what this culture has done, though. I mean, it's what porn has done to America.
But that's the whole thing, and that goes back to social media. I think all of it, whether it's pornography, whether it's everything on demand, whether it's social media, we all try to live up to everybody's expectations but our own.
Right.
Or God's.
Keep up with the Joneses.
But
the Joneses aren't even keeping it real. That's the thing.
No, everybody be fronting, man. Everybody be fronting.
And that's it. I mean, and look, it's really funny when you really do the homework and get to know people, because really everybody is in the same boat.
I don't know that the person actually believes this, that has it in their office window. Work hard and be nice to people. You've seen that up.
Oh, of course.
In the corner.
It's usually with the people that wear those "Life is Good" sweatshirts that are total dicks. Like the people that wear that stuff are total a-holes.
Or coexist.
Or coexist is a great notion, except for one of the symbols, a little moon symbol, wants to cut my head off just because I don't agree with them.
Right.
Religious, with their religion.
No, it's you don't have to coexist with everything. Dogs and cats don't coexist often.
They really don't.
So, that's not the way of the world. Have we gotten everything out of our system here?
I think we have, but I'd like to give you an opportunity to, mention the foundation before we leave.
You're always so sweet. I love that. Oh. Hey, on one of our stations here, 104.7 The Fish, the contemporary Christian music station, Atlanta's Christmas music station, regardless of what another station in town says that they are, you're a liar. Anyway,
98.5.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I just sneezed.
Sorry. Yeah.
Bless me.
Right. I'm like, man, that's just some unmitigated gall. Anyway, they do the Christmas wish every year, and one of the cool things that I really wanted to do this year was go through those wishes and do some keyword searches. Of course, we get the listings of PDFs, and there's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. So I just keyword search from musical instruments. So this week we were able to grant a banjo for a girl. That's all she wanted was a banjo for Christmas, because that's something she really loves. She loves bluegrass and country and wants to learn to play the banjo. So we granted that wish, and another girl wanted a guitar. And the station out of the Christmas wish fund also kicked in and one of the families is in transitional housing,
Wow.
And all she wanted was a rent deposit. She just can't come up with $1,500 to, so they're doing that. They're giving them like $1,000 in gift cards for Christmas and that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just really cool stuff. I'm going to go to, deliver that next week. It's just amazing.
That's so good, man.
Yeah.
You're doing good things.
So, I mean, that's part of what we do at the Gift of Music Foundation. And then we're getting more donations all the time. We're getting more instruments coming in. And I feel that God is doing some amazing things. As I meet new people, by the way, I went down to visit on Monday a couple of our after-school music programs in the city of Atlanta. These are in pretty tough neighborhoods, dude. I mean, they're neighborhoods that you and I don't see. I mean, these are like apartment complexes with half the windows with plywood for the window and not glass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, really rough-looking places. And these are really sweet, cute kids in elementary school. And they are so happy to see you when somebody shows an interest in them, because they don't have anybody else. They don't have, whether it's music or sports or art or anything else. I mean, how much I feel about the positive attributes of music studies. So that's why I do what I do. But, when you get out there and you really get face to face with these people and you meet some great people, I've got high expectations for what we're going to be able to accomplish in 2017. And, for anybody who's heard our message and been able to give, I mean, we're getting instrument donations online all the time. In fact, I'm leaving right after this to go pick up several instruments. I've got to have some volunteer help eventually, because I can't pick up all these instruments. I just thank you. If you've been able to give $5, if you've been able to, volunteer an hour of your time to, or you've even just liked us on Facebook and you've helped spread our message to your sphere of influence, as we say. It's really, really cool. So, Gift of Music Foundation, giftofmusic.org, giftofmusic.org, and all the links to social and everything are on there as well.
And like you said, I mean, even if you don't have a sax or a guitar or a bass to give away, at least you can, give some spare change, even if it's like a couple bucks, like you said. I mean, if 1,000 people gave $1, that's $1,000.
Well, I've often said if 1,000 people would give $9 a month, which for most middle class people, we waste more than that a day.
Yeah, it's a Starbucks cup.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. A day. So $9 a month times 1,000 people is $108,000 a year.
And just the impact that's making on the future generation of people, these kids, like you said, they don't have anything. They're not going home to Xbox 360s and all these extra toys and a safe neighborhood where they can go out, frolic, and play and have a good time. This is it, man. This may be their out to do bigger and better things.
And listen, you hear some of the kids, and I was like, how long you been playing? And this is a fifth grader, and she was on clarinet, and she had a beautiful sound. I mean, I'm getting chills talking about it. I'm like, holy crap, you're going to be really talented. I mean, you are talented. You're going to be, are you going to stay with us? And one of the things we want to do is help these kids stay with us through middle school and into high school so that they can stay out of trouble. I mean, these are different communities and different than you and I go home to
of course,
every night. It's a very different thing, but there's a lot of good people down there trying to do good. And it's, that's why I'm so blessed that God has laid this on my heart. And I will say this, it's a heavy burden, to run this foundation. This is not easy.
Oh, no. If you guys could see, I mean, he's like doing traffic in the morning, gets here at like 5:30, then he's out at noon going out to his next thing, which is the Gift of Music Foundation, if not to his office, out picking up instruments, out networking, trying to get people to donate. And we just don't know the kind of impact that this will have for years to come. I mean, these kids just, like you said, they don't have anything.
Yeah, it's not a one and done thing. And look, you're not going to reach every kid. There's never 100% conversion rate on anything in life. Okay. Except for death, we all convert there.
Yeah.
But I mean, but if what if we could convert a third of these kids to passing and going through and getting through high school because they had that one thing. They were able to get into music and they were able to afford an instrument. You know, and that's what we're doing. I mean, and that's just so cool, you know, and we've just scratched the surface. I mean, we've doubled our budget for 2017. We're you know, I mean, that's our target of what we want to hit.
Of course.
You know, it's been aggressive and we're making some great things. So, I just appreciate your platform of, man, we every Friday it's like this emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's all from, you know, it's like the tunnel of love all the way down to, you know, God and spirituality. And just, I mean, and I think if you were really to get into a lot of people's psyches who try to be one or the other, you find that a lot of people are very, you know, very Neapolitan.
As Big Boy would say, one moment you're frequenting the booty club, the next 4 years you and somebody's daughter raising y'all own youngin'. That's a beautiful thing. That's if you on top enough of your. That's if you on top of your game and man enough to handle real life situations. That is, I mean,
that's a good message.
I mean, it really is because look, we all face duality in life. I mean, anybody that tries to be a decent person, we all have that you know, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of thing going on.
And you know what? I think the great thing about getting older is you start to accept who you are.
Yeah, it gets easier.
It's not that I never want to improve myself, and there are certain things about my character that I don't like, and there's certain things about my personality I don't like, but they're just certain things. They're not, well, I want 100% of the people to like me, and if they don't, I'm going to be sad. I'm like, you know what? I think it's a badge of honor. If you don't like me, and I live in your head rent-free now, I'm like, yeah.
Well, if people are out there and they're thinking, you know, I haven't done my end-of-year gift, which a lot of people do for tax reasons, and that's okay. Who cares about your motive? All I care about is the result, and the result is these kids are getting instruments and help to just have better lives. So you can reach out, giftofmusic.org.
Yeah, I mean, this is the biggest giving month of the year, and they being whoever the quote experts are.
The Illuminati.
Right, they. It is said that, believe it or not, New Year's Eve is the biggest giving day because people are like, oh man, I really need a tax write-off for next year because I'm going to owe a ton. So instead of giving it to Uncle Sam to go squander, regardless of who's in the government, let's be honest,
yep.
You know, why not give it to us? We're certainly not going to squander it. I mean, you know, we have expenses to run, but, you know, about 70% of everything we take in right now is going directly to programs. So that's, I mean, that is, for a startup, is pretty good.
You can't beat that. Chris Monroe, always a pleasure to have you in Wenz World, man.
Always good to be here, buddy.
My friends, here we are in December. Christmas right around the corner. By the time you're hearing this, it's about 2 weeks away. But don't worry, there's always time for Amazon Prime. 2-day delivery, you can't beat it. Right to your doorstep. I mean, you can answer the door in your undies. How perfect is that? You don't even have to get your pajamas on to go to Walmart. I mean, because that's what I go to Walmart in. Why even dress up? What's the point? It's like going to Waffle House in a 3-piece suit. You're just going to spill hash browns all over yourself. Also, that'll keep the thugs away from you, too. Why do you think the Hollywood elites always dress in shabby clothing when they go out anywhere? So they won't get recognized. So they won't get disturbed and harassed. That was the problem with Kim Kardashian, you know, in Paris, and she got robbed with millions of dollars of jewels on. You flaunt it, you're going to get whacked over the head these days. In addition, as an aside here, since we're talking about the Kardashian clan and such, Kanye West, that just goes to show the toxic environment that a Kardashian provides. Neurotoxic venom. And there must be something in the saliva. Or it's the power of the booty, the Kardashian booty. It has sunk many a sailor's ship. It's a dangerous thing to get sucked into that swaller, the siren song of the Kardashian derriere. Steer your ship away from those rocks, for your ship shall crash, and you shall drown. In Kanye's case, he's drowning in a pool of his own saliva right now, unable to figure out his mental state. His faculties have left him. He's but a shell of a rapper, a self-proclaimed genius whose mind has escaped him, been driven to madness, in part due to his own ego, but the bigger picture here, the Kardashian clan, the power of the booty. Young man, run away from this sort of temptation. When you encounter the booty that captivates your eyes, you must know that there's a bigger picture here. For For the moment, it seems sweet. For the moment, it seems as if everything is perfect in the world. But know that a trap awaits. Yes. Could be your brain to go. Could be your career to go. I mean, look at people like Chris Humphreys and Reggie Bush. Both shells of the athletic performers that they were now. Now they're just essentially athletic supporters. Supporting the junk of professional sports. Yes, they are second-rate athletes, probably attending autograph signings at sports card memorabilia shops. My friend, if you take anything away from this time together, to never get sucked into the look of a situation. No, dig deeper. Ask hard questions of yourself. Ask yourself, is this the best possible thing that I can do for my life right now? But ask yourself, is this worth the pending doom that awaits the decision to engage this person? Whether it's a Kim, a Chloe, a Kylie, and the other one, run away and live. Live, my friend, to fight another day.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
My friends, thanks for taking the time to listen to this edition of Wenz World Radio. Hey, check me out on Twitter at Wenz World Radio. Also, my personal Twitter handle at producer_Joey. Till next week, take care.